All right, let's take a look at the chart action for Chainlink. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. So we had a downtrend going something like this. We came up, got resistance right there, came down, got resistance, resistance. Basically, I was looking at this resistance zone right here when we started coming up over here. Can we make it up here? I was targeting this area right there. It looks like right now we're somewhere right here. So it looks like we're breaking out of this area, at least the bodies. So that's what I had been targeting. The next thing I'm kind of targeting is this little resistance right here and the top over here. This is sitting at around 42.65 and this top is sitting at around 52.31. In general though, I'm looking at this support right here and this support right here, drawing a support trend line, something like that. Let's see how long we can ride this trend line going to the upside, maybe doing something like that. It looks like we have a little bit of resistance right here. I'm curious if we could just break out something like that, or if this is going to hold us down a little bit over here and we might have to come back and retest. The other thing I'm really looking at is we had that resistance right here and then we had some resistance right here. It almost looks like a cup and handle kind of, but I'm going to treat it more like a triangle. So we'll do like a trend line, something like this. We'll drag from the top to the bottom of this triangle, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately 45.63. So the targets that I'm kind of looking at are sitting right here at around 42.62, 45.52, and maybe 52.20. I've been dollar cost averaging on the way down and on the way up. This isn't one of my biggest holdings, but I put in a nice little position at this breakout right here. In general, as long as we're riding this uptrend, I don't see why we can't retest these previous highs, at least. Alright, so we're looking at the total crypto market cap right now, and like we've been watching on my channel, this triangle pattern, something right here. We had a target from the top to the bottom of this triangle, dragging that to the breakout somewhere up here, and we were looking at 2.33 trillion. Right now, we're sitting at 2.35 trillion. We've been kind of bouncing in between this little channel pattern, something like that. We're on the 4-hour time frame right now, and basically, we're still in this uptrend. We actually formed a new kind of pattern, kind of triangle, something like that. Basically, what I was looking at is this next target of 2.46 trillion, which is the previous top up here. It looks like we're getting very, very close to that. We're at 2.35 trillion right now. So let's see if we could come up and hit that target, or if we're going to get a correction before we do. It looks like we're in this channel pattern. Until we break this little uptrend going to the downside, we might even come up and hit this target right away. The other thing I'm looking at though is we did have this triangle pattern, and we had this bottom support line right there. Let's see how long that bottom support line is going to hold support even when we come up to this area right here. We're going to be kind of wanting to watch this bottom support right here. If we break that going to the downside, that might be a signal that we might be getting a bigger correction. Since we kind of fulfilled this triangle pattern, we could kind of delete this one. And like I said, on the 4-hour time frame, I'm watching this little channel pattern. Let's see how long we can hold this bottom support, or if we could break out on this top support and go parabolic. If we go to the daily time frame and delete some of these lines, you can see this a little bit better. Like I've been talking about, hopefully we can retest these previous tops on our favorite coins and the total crypto market cap. It looks like we're getting really close though. So from here to here, the previous top is only another 4 or 5%. So yeah, I'm really curious if we're going to come up and get a correction at this point, or if we're just going to come and just blast straight through it. I think if we could break this level right here at around 2.6 trillion, then we're going to get, it's going to be even more bullish than with, I think maybe a next level to watch would maybe be 3 trillion. That'd be kind of like a psychological level. But yeah, in general, it looks like we've been getting some nice green candles. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we got a little correction and had to retest this trend line right here. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we just came up and hit the target. I don't know. That's basically what I'm looking at. I'm targeting this area right here right now. Let's see how far we can go up. In the 4-hour time frame, we have this little uptrend going something like this. We could watch that as well. As long as this chart is moving up, this is good for pretty much all the crypto coins that you're looking at. You're just going to want to be looking at different coins at different times pretty much. And it seems like Chainlink has been doing good the last couple days. Alright, so let's take a look at Chainlink to Bitcoin. And this is another reason that I've been kind of watching this. So let's actually delete everything on here because that's the bigger time frame and we'll get to that in a minute. But if we go into this smaller little area right here, let's do some technical analysis on this. We had resistance right here, and resistance right here, support right here, support right here. So basically, like pretty much like my other charts, we're looking at this resistance pretty much right there, and we can draw a straight line going something like this. That's basically what I'm looking at. And then we have a support something like that. So it's kind of like a triangle pattern, an ascending triangle pattern, I guess, where it's moving to the upside, and something like that, or maybe like almost like a W pattern kind of. So what I would do is target from the top to the bottom of this triangle or that W, something like that. You can kind of either try to play it either way. Drag that to the breakout, something like this, and we're looking at a target of approximately 0.0007782 satoshis. Basically, if this chart is moving up, then Chainlink is looking good compared to Bitcoin. Right now, as far as today, it's doing. We're up 5% against Bitcoin. So yeah, that's basically why That's basically why Chainlink is on my radar. Is this triangle pattern right here against Bitcoin, and we're breaking out right here. So like I said, let's target from the top to the bottom, drag that to the breakout of this kind of, let's do the W target, something right there, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at something like that. We could also maybe target these previous resistances, something like right here, or maybe even something like right here. We had a lot of resistance right there, so maybe something like that. The first trends that we had on my chart before I deleted them, let's delete everything. If we go to the weekly time frame, we can kind of see this a little bit better. And we basically have a downtrend. So Chainlink has been trending down to Bitcoin, but we also have this resistance right here and resistance right here. That's giving me a downtrend, something like that. And it looks like, at least on the bodies, we're breaking out. If we drag it, if we use the wicks, then it's a little different story. We haven't broken out on the wicks yet. So technically, this would be like we would use the wicks, I guess. But if you want to use the bodies, this is a good signal that we might actually go up and break the wicks. That's my opinion. This is the weekly time frame. So yeah, and then we could do a bottom support, something like this, and then maybe do a top to the bottom triangle pattern target, something like that. Drag that to the breakout. We're looking at a target of approximately the previous highs over here. I mean, this isn't quite that level, but yeah, maybe we're looking at this level right there. I don't know for sure about this. Let's put on the volume just to see what the volume's looking like. We haven't really got a big spike in volume. It is declining volume. Let's see if we can get a big spike in volume right there. This is the Chainlink to Bitcoin again. As long as this chart is moving to the upside, or if we're getting breakouts in these downtrends, then that is going to be good for Chainlink. All right, so if we go back to Chainlink, like I said, I'm looking at this triangle pattern, something like that. We got a breakout right here. I'm targeting around 45.52, but we also have this resistance right there. So I'm also targeting that. 42.62 and 45.52 are my next targets on Chainlink. Let's see if we could go hit those, or if we're going to get a correction, we have to bounce on this trend line going to the upside to hit them. We're going to wait and see. I put in an order right here. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys liked that video, hit that thumbs up.